Hi, I'm Pastor Jeff. This is Pastor Chris. We're back again with you this week to just go over some more information that we're really excited about. And this week in particular, besides all of the new construction, new painting, all those things that's going on, we're starting to have some information for you about the new guides, the new study guides, the booklets, the whatever we're going to call that, that's really going to be at the heart of this entire new program for our kids. It's going to be a fun place. It's going to be very energetic. The rooms are going to be bright and colorful. The programming is going to be really exciting. But I think the heart of it is the devotional Bible memory portion, and that's going to come from books just like this one. And so, Chris, why don't you tell us, how is this going to work? How does a book like this work?
Okay, well, right now in front of us, we kind of have a weekly snippet. It's kind of a snapshot of what we're going to be doing here. And so I just want to walk through a little bit of how it's going to look on a weekly basis, and the entire booklet will be a whole month long. Okay. So when we launch for the month of October, it'll be an entire month of October. You'll see everything as it comes. But the first thing that you'll see for the weekly portion of it is on the front, on the weekly thing here, we'll have a spot for your kid before they even leave the room to fill in what the bottom line is. Now, the bottom line is kind of like the catchphrase or the thing that we want kids to walk away with for that weekend. So for that service, they're going to be able to fill in, here's the bottom line. Our small group leaders will help them out there. That way everyone's on the same page, so we know this is what we talked about this week. And then there's going to be the weekly verse that goes along with our teaching and everything with the bottom line as well. So it's connected there. And underneath that, or kind of with that, it might be on a different page depending on which booklet we do, which month it is. But there's going to be parent cues. Now, we used to pass those out in little handouts. We used to have those. But we're going to be including those in the booklet. So you can see everything that we talked about, everything that your child's able to fill out. And then as you flip over or look a little bit below that, you'll see a spot where you can ask some questions that go along with what we talked about. And then there's a little spot for you as a parent or legal guardian, whoever is coming to church with you, to fill out or you to initial right there to make sure that you and your child had a conversation this week about what we talked about. And so,
that's cool.
Yeah, we thought that was cool with the parent cues, especially setting that up really, really well. And so, as you go into it,
and that initial, sorry to interrupt, but that initial then identifies for the leaders here that they'd worked on that at home.
Right. That's exactly it.
And then they're going to try to say that same bottom line and memory verse to the leader.
Yes.
Here on site.
Yep.
And that way they get credit towards the awards that are available later.
That's exactly it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's for our small group leader, the people that are in the room that are taking or hearing the verses. It's for us to know that you had a conversation. So it was more than them just kind of memorizing the verse, but coming back. And then, that's when they would come back the following week and say their verse so that we knew
that's cool.
That conversation was happening. And then you're going to get into it and you're going to see, like I said, the parent cues are in it. There's going to be, and I'll walk you through just a couple here, but there's going to be different tracks throughout the week. And so for this first one, we have, so track one, it could be day one, it could be Monday, whatever that is. We're going to go through and it has read these verses that are right here. So it's in this one, it's Matthew chapter 8, verses 5 through 13. And so it walks through and then it does almost very similar to what we do in our small group environments where we have maybe an activity that goes along with whatever we're talking about. There's a little activity. And so on this one, it's as simple as draw a picture, but it has them thinking through this verse, or this passage. And then we have a verse that goes along with the passage, and then they would memorize that and then come back. And again, there's a parent initial for every track, every day throughout the week as kids are going through the devotionals. So we know it's, not just memorizing the verse, but that they're spending a little bit of time in the Bible and taking this a little bit serious. And so
that's cool. So then, like in this guide, then the big theme is respect.
Yes.
The bottom line is going to identify, some kind of a slogan.
Right.
What respect is all about. Then the memory verse is that God made everything, and so because of that, He deserves respect.
Right.
And then, like on track one, you've got the story of the Roman commander that when he comes to Jesus, wants Jesus to do a miracle for him, he mentions the fact that, hey, I'm a commander and I know what it's like to have people under me and they do what I say. And I know you're that kind of guy.
Right.
And so even this Roman commander gave respect to Jesus, saying, you deserve respect because of your power, because you're in charge of everything. And so the kid reads that passage, those 7 or 8 verses, and then they have a follow-up Bible verse to memorize, 1 Peter 2:17.
Right.
Show proper respect to everyone.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that was
Yeah.
that was kind of our monthly theme too, which is something to mention. 1 Peter 2:17 was the monthly theme for this last month, and so sometimes as we have like a monthly theme or a monthly verse that's there to memorize, we'll sprinkle that in throughout some of the daily devotions too. And so there might be a couple like in week 2 or in week 4, you might see that verse pop up again,
Yeah.
so they have another chance to or go back at that verse.
Review.
So we're going to take a couple of verses like that and review them throughout the month.
That's cool. So then each day is going to be going back to something that they learned on the weekend. So you're
Yes.
getting every single day, you're getting reinforcement from the weekend. So it's not disjointed.
Yes,
It's
correct.
Sunday matters on Monday, matters on Tuesday, matters on Wednesday.
Exactly.
And they're carrying that whole theme. That's a really cool idea. You're just coming from different angles.
Right.
Okay.
And some of the daily tracks, some of the devotionals that we have are one verse to read and a little activity to go along with it. Some are 7 or 8 verses. So it kind of varies on the day too.
Okay.
So they're kind of different in that range.
So then the parent would initial off on that, and then when the kid comes back to HC Kids on the weekend, they would sit down and quote that Bible verse for the leader.
Yeah, we're gonna have time set aside in the services when they go to their rooms. They're gonna have time to come back and say, "Hey, I memorized this verse," and so they'll be able to sit down with the leader and say, "Okay," and then have time to go through it. And as we know, with the parent initial there, we know that they talked about it, they did it at home, and so they can come back and our leaders can sign off on it too.
Right.
And that's where they get the points to get rewarded.
And what gets rewarded gets repeated.
That's right. A wise man.
There you go.
All right, so we're going to be sending out a copy, a PDF form of what we just walked through. This is something that was created a little while ago, and so it's not what we're going to be going through anytime soon. It's actually from our past series, but I wanted to give you a heads up too as you're looking through that. Our next month, when we start October, our theme it's called Blank Page, and it's all about creativity. And so the fact that God created us means that we are creative and can be creative. And so He made us in a unique way and very special. And so we're going to walk through what that means. And so that's going to be what the month of October looks like. We're going to have our first book out, and so it's going to be all 4 weeks of October as we go through it. And so you can kind of look for it there.
That's cool. And next week, Chris and I will give you a tour of some of the spaces as we continue to improve these, and then we'll also give you some behind-the-scenes look at some of the new designs, things that are coming up. And I think you're going to be really excited about that. Your kids are going to love it. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, that's it.